Better Together podcast.
And welcome to the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We are recording today from the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab. The Better Together podcast highlights local businesses each week as the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce continues to promote an amazing business community. I am Brad Marshall from Greater Culture CrossFit, and I'm joined by my friend who miraculously still has all 10 fingers, Marty Woodward from Rescued Wood Rehab.
Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. And welcome to the Better Together podcast. And joining us today, we're going to talk about food. This is going to be great. We're joined by the owner of B'wiched, Heather Lambert. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm nervous. I'm excited.
Okay, well, I just remember the chicken salad that I had of yours.
Yes.
It's amazing. So we'll be talking more about that after
Okay.
this. But so tell us, Heather, what inspired you to get a sandwich truck?
Yeah. So I've always been raised in the kitchen, cooking with my meemaw at home. Like anything that we had family related revolved around food, right? So it was enjoyable. It brought people together. So what better way to bring people together than create a restaurant or food? And at a food truck, it's a mobile restaurant. I can go wherever I want. So meeting new people, parking, all this kind of stuff, I enjoy it. So putting all of that in really helps me, and then letting people enjoy my food as well.
And it's tremendous food. So we'll talk more about that as we go through. But so you decide to create a mobile food truck, right? B'wiched. What were some of the challenges that you faced right at the beginning? And I can see your face. You go, oh,
Yeah.
there were some challenges.
Where do I start?
Yeah,
right?
go. Tell us about that.
So I have always enjoyed food, culinary school, but I never had the business aspect of it. You know, you take classes and you're like, oh, I can do this. And you really don't know how much detail really goes in on the back end. And then once you start, you're like, okay, what next? Where do I find places to go? Where in a culture that's already saturated with food trucks, so you have to find something that is different. So I think the biggest challenge for me is, of course, I started in October, so weather is not really on my side at that point. So you're just trying to find, companies that want to have you out, places that park. No pools are open in October, so neighborhoods are really kind of out of the question unless you really promote, I have a fall menu, I have a winter menu, I'm open all year round. So I think the biggest challenge for me was to first day, and now I have to get this done. This is my only option. So I really have to fight for my business. So I think that was the biggest challenge, is just to kind of find places to go. And, not some people are, oh yeah, we love that. Some people are like, no, we can't do that. Whether it's their business or corporate, because sometimes there's rules. And I think that was the biggest challenge for me, was just getting my name out there and getting recognized.
And so you were telling us before we came on the podcast a little bit about sort of the origin story. You made a decision at some point. So tell us, go back and tell us about, and I think that's unique to what you did. Tell us about that origin story. How did this all start?
Yes, so I went to culinary school and enjoyed so much, and I was like, I want to be in the food industry, worked my way through restaurants up until, and family happens. You have 2 kids and like, well, more time. So I switched to a 9-to-5 job. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'll be happy. And in the back of your mind, you're like, but am I really? Because I want to do what I want to do. So finally, I got into teaching at a local school, teaching family and consumer science to middle school. And it was like a light bulb switch. Like, this is exactly what I want. It's hands-on. I'm still meeting people, even if it was students and teachers, but I was providing something that I wanted to provide for them, whether it's the skills or the food, just to kind of show them what it is. And then I was like, okay, I want to go a little bit further. I want to be proud of something that I have done personally, and I would love to own. So I looked into a restaurant, and we all know restaurants are very expensive right off the bat. So what better way to do it than a mobile restaurant? So I switched all of my plans to a food truck, and my husband is like, okay, we're going to do our research. We're going to do that. And I found a food truck, and I was like, it's got everything that I need. It fits my menu. Oh, but it's not here. So my husband's like, okay, we're going to do this. If you want to do this, this is what we're doing. Make sure. And so I quit my 9-to-5 job. I flew up to Washington, D.C., bought my truck, and drove it back down to Fuquay. And that was in May, and I was able to open once I got everything in October of 2024.
That's fantastic. I think that's a great story. That you just made that leap.
Yes.
To find your desire.
To do it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, that's a unique part of your business. And is there something else that's unique? And now that you're up and running, what's unique about B'wiched?
Yeah. So being local, and I am born and raised Harnett County, so very familiar with Fuquay, Lillington, Anger, all of the big towns. So my objective for this business was to support local. So I try to, as much as I can, look at different farms that I can grab some fresh produce from. Through the winter, we do a lot of things with honey. So local businesses that have honey, and just utilizing those types of things, I really feel like just brings the community together, because I'm small business, so I love the idea of supporting small business. But I always have to have lettuce and tomato on the truck for sandwiches. So it's easier for me to say, okay, I'm going to go and support this local farm. And that way they know that what I'm doing, it may come back to give me more business. So it's just kind of a hand-in-hand thing. So try to utilize as much local produce and items that I'm going to use on the truck as much as possible.
Yeah, I think that ability to source local items to create fresh, delicious food is always really popular. And you mentioned, so you started in October, so coming up on 1 year.
1 year.
Coming up soon. And so I'm sure folks who have had a chance to sample or have your food have absolutely loved it, but there's probably some people who are not familiar with you. So give us kind of like the bird's eye view. If somebody's walking up to your truck, what can they expect to see on your menu, some of the products you offer, or some of the different sandwiches that they might be able to enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you can't miss my truck. It is bright purple, 90s themed. Going down the road, I wanted something different. So I translated that into my menu. So I take traditional sandwiches and I put a twist on them a little bit. So with our club sandwich, but I do a homemade avocado lime dressing that goes on it. BLTs, I put a fried egg. So just little ingredients like that. I have chicken salad, it's all homemade. I make it, but with a basic chicken salad, I throw in a cranberry spread that adds a little bit of sweetness to that dill relish.
That's what it was. It was amazing.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. But so I just try and take all of your traditional sandwiches and put a fun spin on them. I also provide kids menu, so I'm a one-stop shop, so they can come and find grilled cheeses, ham melts, peanut butter and jellies, an adult peanut butter and jelly also. It has sliced fresh fruit in the middle. So we just try and make it fun but enjoyable at the same time. And it's very family friendly. Everybody can find something on the menu that is going to feed their appetite.
Yeah, and I can sense the excitement you get around the sandwiches and being creative with those. So can you talk to us a little bit about where some of the creativity or the insight, are you like in the lab at home, like testing out different sandwiches and figuring out of like, what can I do to make this sandwich a little bit better?
Yeah.
That's got to be the fun part.
It is, because, you have this creative side, but you don't want to throw it on the truck if it's not going to work. So I utilize a lot of friends and family to, hey, try this, give me your feedback. And I also enjoy the feedback from customers too, because I'm feeding them. Like, whatever they don't like, why would I want to keep that if it's not going to continue to progress? So the beginning of October, we had a couple of sandwiches and they just weren't doing it. So it's like, okay, do I change it, add something different, or do I remove it? But just the feedback and the creativity that I get to do, and then knowing that I do have people that enjoy it, and just give it a try. I know it sounds a little bit unique, but if you do it, the flavors do mesh really well together.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any taste testers, Marty and I would be happy to add our
We're
service.
always
We're always
available, Heather. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things I think about with a food truck too is there are times where menus can be rotating or changing. You mentioned things coming in and out. Do you
Yes.
find yourself having a pretty stable menu of like you're going to have the same sandwiches pretty much everywhere you go, or are there ways that you're bringing new sandwiches to the truck, or what does that look like?
So when I first started, I had all of these ideas, right? So you're thinking, okay, but can a food truck is very, very small, so you can't utilize all those ideas all at once. So you try and find the menu. I was going all over the place, and it was hard because if you're going to one place and you had these sandwiches, if you went to the other place and didn't have them, but somebody's like, hey, I thought I saw this. And you're like, oh man. So I have a stable menu for the spring and summer, and then I introduce weekly specials. So if it's a sandwich that I'm trying to put on the menu, I'll do it as a special to see kind of how it pulls. I started that out with my fried bologna sandwich, and now it's a staple on my menu because I would sell out as a special. So we put that on the menu for our staple. But fall and winter, I do have a set menu too that switches to unique grilled cheeses and soups and chilies. So we get to kind of utilize that. And that's when I bring in my dessert sandwiches as well.
Oh, you just spoke to my heart there. Fall, when you started looking at grilled cheeses and soups, that is like near and dear to me.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that
Yes.
season very much so. I imagine as you've integrated into the community, you've gotten to know other food trucks. You're starting to learn kind of the way the rules of the road, or more or less. But are there certain things that you'd say make your food truck potentially unique for especially businesses who maybe want to have you out, or as you've interacted with the community, that make you a little bit different or unique compared to maybe some other food trucks?
Yeah, I mean, I think I try to think that I am a little bit unique in, menu because, in a saturated world locally, for really the only sandwich truck that you can there are sandwich shops and everything, but I can utilize and go to places. Who doesn't love a good sandwich, right? But having the flexibility of my menu being so interchangeable that I feel like I can reach a lot of potential clients or customers because I have that flexibility. I also, in the community, I love to give back. I take a month, a little bit. There is a foundation in Raleigh, Helene Foundation, and they helped me through a really hard time in my life back in 2021 when I was diagnosed with cancer. So I take October of the month and give back some of my sales percentage to that foundation. May they do the race for a cure. So month of May, if I do promotions on, if you've come up, and some of those proceeds will go to the foundation as well. So I just try and incorporate a lot of the community and give back aspect, just because I was also helped in that situation. So I like to give back as much as I can to somebody who really helped me in that time.
Yeah, that's amazing, and thank you for sharing that. Especially because as we look at all these local businesses we continue to connect with, is how much it matters to them to like give back to others and help with what maybe they've been gifted with or received. So the ability to work through that process with the diagnosis and then now to try and pay it forward, that's incredible. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And so, Heather, there's always inspiring stories that are greater than the business stuff that we do, and I think that's remarkable for people to hear those things. So beyond life, getting back to business. Are there some lessons that you've learned from starting this business? What some
Yeah.
things that pop out at you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're always learning. I'm still learning, right? I think businesses in 20 years are always going to continue to learn. But I think the lessons that I learned is you really just, you can be as prepared as you can, but you're really not fully prepared. So anything is going to cause a hiccup or, a stumbling block that you're going to. And it's just a matter of I've had to just kind of push through that. And my husband is always saying, pace, pace, which is positive attitude changes everything. So he has helped me in looking at the brighter side and like there's always light at the end of the tunnel and you just kind of have to push through it. So those challenges and things, I just kind of have to, okay, not get in my head, but really, okay, how can we fix it? And it's really helped me kind of change my mentality on this because this is my baby. This is mine. And nobody wants to see that fail. And I sure don't want to see it fail. So I kind of just have to push through and really buckle down and get it done. So it's helped me personally, but I feel like it's helped my business because I'm constantly out there asking, posting on social media, if you need this, like reach out to us. If I can't be at this event, please reach out for future events. I'm more than happy to look at my schedule, everything. And so I want this to succeed so much that I do what I do.
Well, your optimism certainly comes through. And if somebody else, an aspiring entrepreneur said, "Hey, Heather, I want to do something. I want to open a business." What piece of advice would you share with someone?
Yeah, I mean, one, it's got to be something that you're passionate about. I strongly believe that if you don't like what you do, you are going to be miserable doing it. So really do your research. Make sure that it is something that you are passionate about because passion comes out as positive and reaches other people because when people walk up to the window, they can tell that we enjoy what we're doing. So I truly believe that it has to be something that you strongly want and want to see succeed because if you don't, it's just not going to be fulfilling in that aspect. And then of course do your research because you can do as much research and everything, but make sure you get all of that and then go for it. I mean, you're never going to figure it out or never going to see if it's going to succeed if you don't do it.
So you're about to hit 1 year of business, right? So that's super exciting.
Yes.
And beyond that 1 year, what future goals or plans do you have?
Sure. So I would love to convert the truck into an actual restaurant, cafe, something not huge, small, intimate, but that is my main ending goal is even if I keep the food truck, I would love to have a restaurant to be able to have stationery where people can come and not have to hunt for where I'm at next. But then that way I feel I can really utilize and get more into the community with a stationary building. So that is my ultimate goal is to own my own restaurants.
Be on the lookout, folks. Heather's coming to you looking for a space.
Yeah,
That's right.
I love putting it out into the atmosphere because I feel like that does bring it into a chance to become a reality. So
Yes.
I appreciate that, and I think we were just joking that some of our previous guests, it always comes from that idea of just like somebody's like, oh, we should start this or start that, and I feel like I've said that once or twice in my head too of like, man, if there was just a really good sandwich shop here in town, it would kill.
Yeah.
And so I think you're finding and hitting that niche, which is awesome.
We're trying. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
If it's not soon, it's gonna be soon. I have this feeling.
Yeah, and I think maintaining that pace approach is going to work wonders for you. So we know that you create some great sandwiches, you share with the community. I'm sure there's also some either inspiration or other local businesses that you love to frequent yourself, regardless of what they are. So are there any favorite spots around town that you've come to? They know you as a regular now.
Well, I wouldn't know if they would know me as a regular, but we do go a lot. Two kind of come to mind. Garibaldi's. We are big on pizza and pasta, and carbs are so good. So I love Garibaldi. I love the atmosphere. It's, unique. We go and there's always music, or the gentleman that plays the piano or the, just guitar or something. And it's just a fun atmosphere. So we love going to Garibaldi. The other one is a little bit more laid back, but we love it, is Wingin' It. So we're big fans of wings and all the food, but we enjoy that atmosphere too. It's the completely opposite. It's more, both are family friendly, but we enjoy sports. We're a big sports family. So, just going in, the music bingo, the trivia, it gets my kids enjoying to actually sit down, and once their food is done, they're enjoying dinner. So it's just more of a fun, family, laid back atmosphere. So those would be probably my big two places that we really enjoy going.
Pretty interesting for Brad and I to hear, because the one of the owners of Wingin' It mentions B'wiched, and now you mention Wingin' It, so there's this connection around town of like minds, like,
Yeah.
hey, we support each other. I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see how the community supports each other. And so, two phenomenal places in town. Definitely recommend checking them out. One of the things we ask, especially folks who are in the food and beverage industry, is you got to be a connoisseur of your own food. So, what is the favorite item on your own menu?
Okay, so my personal favorite is the Blet, which is how we're pronouncing it, BLET or Blet. My son named it. It's our BLT with a fried egg. Comes with our spicy mayo, which is homemade as well. So we love that. Now, my daughter would say that hers is the grilled cheese. She loves a good grilled cheese. But yeah, I am a fan of the BLTs. So putting a spin on that with the spicy mayo and the fried egg, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, anything with a fried egg, I'm absolutely sold on. Burgers, sandwiches, anything like that.
Yes.
So with the grilled cheese, because I watched this show called Chef, and he told you how to make like the perfect grilled cheese. What's your method for your grilled cheese? Of like, what's your cheese breakdown, or how do you make it really delicious?
So we use more of a Texas toast, thick cut. Right? Ours is about an inch thick on the Texas toast, and we incorporate two different cheeses for it. We do white American for one of them, but we also through the winter have multiple cheeses where they can choose. Sometimes it's pepper jack, sometimes it's cheddar, but that way it just kind of gives it a little bit extra flavor for it. But I do all my sandwiches are, the bread is toasted, whether it's a cold or, of course, the grilled cheese. But just adding that extra butter with seasonings before you put it on that flat top and get it nice and crisp, I think really puts it as a good grilled cheese. Crunchy on the outside, cheesy on the inside.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a fantastic job of describing this. My mouth is literally watering as you're describing all of these sandwiches. So that makes it challenging.
Is the truck in the parking lot, and can we turn the grill on?
I know. So a great deal about the menu there, which I'm excited. I think our listeners are going to really get excited to come out and try some of these unique sandwiches. When you think about business advice that you've received that has helped you, because you mentioned the culinary side, love that, went to school, love food. The business side, not necessarily maybe as skilled in. So what are some of the things, maybe one or two pieces of business advice you received that you're like, this was a game changer for me?
Yeah, so it's just pay attention to details, because whether it's on the paperwork side where, you are tracking your reports or details on what goes out the window, it will always translate into work. And so really pay attention to detail. A lot of people were, oh, your food's great, you should go for it. But you get nervous and you're like, okay, that's a big leap. Like that's a big thing. But really just somebody saying, okay, if you're passionate about it, if you pay attention to details, don't say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. If you have set days where you're actually working on the business, and then you have days, of course, I work for the business. I am there every day on the truck when we're out. But if you're working for the business and getting all of your reports done in the back end, and you see kind of where you are not doing so well and you're succeeding. So you just kind of have to learn that. And I sat down with a lot of business owners for inspiration, or, well, what do you think about this? And the feedback is, you've got a great idea, but you really have to pay attention to those details, whether it's paperwork, food, anything. So I've really taken the time to kind of slow down and really pay attention to what is going on, because if you let it go too much, you're never going to catch back up. And so I've kind of pay attention to the details was the big one. And I think it spoke to me as far as food, the vibe that you have on the truck, who you hire, and what you stand for, your values and your morals, and all of those details really come together at the end.
Yeah, it's something I think we hear from a variety of business owners of, one, know your numbers. You got to understand if what's coming in and what's going out is making sense, and then the personnel and all of that plays a big factor too. One other sort of quick hitter question for you here is, the name B'wiched. You're wearing a purple T-shirt for our folks who are watching this on YouTube. You mentioned the truck has got a really fun '90s vibe. Can you talk to us a little bit about where the name and even some of the branding came from? Because I think it's a really unique design and a really cool inspiration there.
Yeah, when I first started and I was looking at the restaurant, aspect of actually having a building, was like, well, I want something clean and inviting. So it was a black, white, purple themes. And so it was, I was thinking white walls, black, something that looks elegant because you're coming into a restaurant. Well, that didn't really translate very well on the food truck, right? So I wanted something that was going to be eye-catching. I'm born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, right? So good music, good TV shows. I'm like, Saved by the Bell. That's perfect. So, you know, seeing the neon lights in the diners and the vibe of the smiley faces, the lightning bolts, just everything. I was like, I'm going to convey that on my truck. That is going to, driving down the road, you can't miss it. So I did that, and I was like, okay, well, the name, I'm doing sandwiches. So something kind of fun. Well, my maiden name starts with a B. So I was like, okay, we'll put it together. And, you chat GBT, and they're like, come up with a name. And we're like, well, what about B'wiched? I mean, it's an old show, but it's, I'll spell it WICH, like the sandwich. And then I'm kind of getting into that vibe of away from the show B'wiched, but I'm still having that with my sandwiches and the 90s vibe. So I think just popping out and utilizing some of my name and personal to what I'm doing just kind of came together as B'wiched.
I love this. I'm so hungry now, Brad. So, Heather, where can our listeners find you? Either on your website, the social media,
Yes.
and when are you going to park in front of our
I
businesses?
got you. Anytime is the answer. So, but I utilize social media the most, Facebook and Instagram. B'wiched Gourmet Sandwiches. You can full name search me. I like to post all of my monthly events at the first day of the month so that everybody can kind of find me. And then, of course, Street Food Finder. I am on Street Food Finder for food trucks. So that has all of my schedule on there. But I do try and stay much on social media. I do have a website. My business cards have a QR code that takes you directly to the website. The website is another way of contacting me. You can go in there and contact, whether it's calling or it will send an email if you'd like to book or contact us. It'll go straight through. So I utilize social media in the aspect of marketing, but the website does allow you to reach out, and of course reach out on social media as well.
So, in all seriousness, if somebody wants to book, get your truck to their location, they can certainly reach out to you through your website or through social media. Okay,
yes,
fantastic. So, it's been a pleasure talking with you, Heather. So, what's the best part of being connected to the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce?
Sure. So I love the chamber. I know Alan Jackson from Oak City Payments. He helped me start the food truck with, just a lot of back end and POS system and payroll and just friendly advice. He's amazing. So he said, utilize the chamber. And, I'd never really thought to do that right off the bat. but they have been wonderful. When I joined, they promote your business, they put you up first. You know, if somebody reaches out, they are looking at the Fuquay members to go. When I first started, another local member of the chamber was having her ribbon cutting, and I was actually able to be the food truck at her event. So just the connections that you get from the chamber as well and how they promote your business has been wonderful.
That's fantastic. And Heather, it's certainly been a pleasure having you here on the podcast, and we really, really look forward to lunch after talking with you. So, hey, thank you for being a part of our Better Together podcast. And we were joined today by Heather Lambert, the owner of B'wiched. Check her out on all the social medias.
And thank you to our listeners. Join us each week on the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce as we highlight great local businesses from the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab. I am Brad.
And I am Marty.
And we are
Better Together.
We're better together. It's a weekly podcast. We're better together. You should know that there's more in the dash. We're better together. Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We're better together podcast.